Hi, Maya. How are you? How are you? I gotta try and get some of these. You got surgery like last Monday, or you have it coming on Monday? Because I have to put out some extra prayers for you for sure. Did you already have it? Either way, this Monday coming, so I will definitely put out some extra prayers. Let me actually, before I do my reading, I want to, let's do a self-care one. This one's just for you. Before I do my readings, I just want to pull one self-care for you. I miss you too. It's been pretty hectic around here. But it is what it is. We keep on moving. Can I have one self-care for Amaya to focus on this weekend, going into her surgery? Ways to show up with a little more love, create a little less fear. Affirmation. I knew that was going to be one of them. This is not a small voice you hear. When your inner voice speaks, this is not a small voice you hear. No one else has an inner compass just exactly like yours. So when that fear comes in or any of those things, don't let it wear you down. Don't let fear take over, because that inner voice knows what the truth is. It's always going to be all right. So make sure you're using that inner voice to let you know exactly, yes, affirm. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to rest peacefully, and it is the best thing for me. I'm going to get excited, not fear it, because everything that comes, everything that's meant for me is coming. Amen. I am not scared. Good girl. All right. So these are the options that we have left to do. I'm going to do a couple. Hi, Foxy. Welcome. Sorry, I'm doing TikTok and YouTube at the same time. So we got Sagittarius, Capricorn, Libra. Oh, no, I did Libra already. We have Scorpio, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. Hi, Nerf. How are you? Yeah, it's been a while. I've been busy. Hi, Riley. Welcome. It has been crazy. My car broke down. Lots of fun stuff. I'm without a car. I'm without a job now. For now. Still doing all the work in the background. A friend of mine created a GoFundMe to help me get a car to get me back on the road. Welcome, Turkey John. Welcome, John. Thanks for noticing my turkey neck. That comes with age, my friend. Okay, I'm working. No. I know your kitty's here, but that's not what we're doing today. I'm good. I just reached 300 subscribers. Congratulations. I think I'm almost at 400, which is fantastic. Small steps, big accomplishments. Just remember that. Fix the black mold in your kitchen washroom. Oh, I would love to. Are you going to come do that for me? I think you should. If you're going to complain about it, you should at least fix it, because it ain't my problem. I have real life things to deal with. If black mold was an issue, it would be dealt with a long time ago. So I appreciate your genuine lack of caring for anything. The need to be a keyboard warrior. You can feel free to do that, because I don't have it in me to tell you what actually needs to be said. So, well, of course, as do you. That's why you're sitting behind a keyboard. So I hope you have the best day. No, I don't have time or energy to respond to you, so have the day you have. Bye. 969 subs. Way to go, Amaya. That's so close. 1,000. We need, okay. Let me write this down. We need, and I wish I could write. That would be really great. Amaya. Shout out. We want 1,000 subs. That's the goal. Mohammed, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for all the hearts. Y'all are amazing. Okay, so I'm going to just shuffle one, I guess. We'll start with the signs. We'll get 2 or 3 done, depending on how the child behaves. We'll see. Welcome, Karen. So let's see. Who are we going to do? Scorpio. Scorpio it is. So just give me 1 minute. Also, I will have a lot of my recordings and stuff. If you're on TikTok, if you go over to my YouTube, it is Creativity Guides Me. You can always watch the replays if you have your exact sign that you want. I have playlists that say each sign, so it's much easier to follow along. And I'm trying to build that channel, so going over there would be extremely helpful. July, what's the date today? 18th, I think. Scorpio. What time are we at? 6:35? Let's say 7 minutes. That's a good number. So, you should start sunscreen? What does that even mean? Don't you have to go outside for that? You should find something better to do with your day. If you want to waste your energy coming on trying to project negative stuff to somebody else, it means you got a really rough thing going on in your life. But instead of shutting you down or being cruel, like I really could be, because if I wanted to tear you a new asshole, I would be extremely good at it. But I choose not to do that. You can say whatever you need to say about me, but all it is a reflection of how you actually feel about yourself. So, honey, the way you speak, you're not a surgeon, because a surgeon would never speak to somebody like that for no reason. So use your strengths and actually focus it. Maybe try to be a surgeon, because that might be good. Well, clearly you're not winning in life. You're a keyboard warrior. But thanks for visiting, and I wish you the best. All right, so now, for my Scorpios, what is the energy? What are we focusing on moving through July? The devil, addictions, depression, and by the way, addiction doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol or smoking, those kind of things. It could be negative mindsets. It could be codependence. It could be relationships. But see, at the bottom of the deck, it is victory. So you're claiming victory over them, which is good. It means you're noticing what it is, you're becoming aware, and you're finding ways to maneuver through it, which is fantastic. You don't consider me the same as you? Who cares? Dude, you're a little bubble on a screen. Why would I want to be the same as you, the way you treat people? That doesn't clearly, if that's how you treat people, my lord. Anyways, just like, you can keep going or I'll just block you. The only difference is it's wasted energy, because I know how many accounts you make to come back and do the same thing. So I wish you the best. For my Scorpios, what is the energy? The more one does and sees and feels, the more one is able to do. And the more genuine may be one's appreciation of fundamental things like home and love and understanding companionship. 341, way to go, that's fantastic. Reflect on ways in which you have opened your heart to seeing, feeling, and experiencing more joy in your life. This is for you, John. You actually need to focus on that. John, it's waste of energy. Why would I block you? Keep typing. You just build my chat up and you're going to make me money. Thank you. What ways can you open your heart that you haven't yet considered? You need to consider it desperately, because the way you talk to people, when that starts coming back at you, I don't think your little mind and heart could even take it. So don't waste your energy. Focus on you. That's where you need to focus. If you can't do that, kick rocks. Bye. All right, my Scorpios, how are we opening our heart? How are we letting go of the codependence, obsessive behaviors, negative attitudes, depression, projection? The patience is in the living. Today, just remember, the moment between waves is an opportunity to notice exactly where you are. When you notice that, you can make a step forward in a much healthier way. In a way that suggests that you are going to be happier. You can love yourself a little bit more when you let go of the expectation and the judgment for others. You allow space for yourself to actually see who you are, what you are, and learn how to move forward that way. When you go into this big judgment and expectation for other people, it means you usually hold this expectation for yourself, except when you're not accomplishing it, you, instead of taking it on and the worry and the fear and all of that stuff, you project it out onto others because it's less painful that way. And when it comes to that, then you start to feel like it gets lighter, but it doesn't. It only gets lighter for a moment, and then it just comes back to you. You just got to remember, what you put out in the world is always going to come back. Then it says, Sun in Libra, enjoy life with music, love, and romance. You're starting to find harmony, and that's what happens, okay? When you look at addictions, when you look at those negative mindsets, when you look at all that frustration and stuff, you're learning how to balance it. To have victory over that, you have to find the good with the bad. We all have that demon in us that can just be like, dig deep and just feed it to people, be cruel, say dumb things that you feel like makes you look smart, which almost never does. You also have the kind stuff where you allow yourself to stay quiet and not advocate for yourself when people are doing dumb shit. Learning to find that balance, that harmony, allows you to negotiate, right? There's the Gemini, right? It allows you to rise to those challenges. It allows you to move forward and not worry about what the world thinks about you. You just worry about you, right? And when you do that, that's how you move forward from a place of happiness and peace and harmony. And you're doing it. And you're taking it one day at a time. You know, it's a million baby steps for a reason. That's exactly what they say, and that's why they mean it like that. What do we got here? A win-win outcome is forecast. When you start noticing it and becoming aware of it, and it's time to take action. Aries. A win-win outcome is forecast because you're doing the steps. Once you find it and you become aware of it and you notice it, that's a whole action in itself. But then you can recognize the pattern, right? Which is all I teach. And if you go to my YouTube at Creativity Guides Me, you can absolutely see all of the stuff I teach. I teach emotional awareness. I teach triggers and patterns and finding it and making small changes. And that changes the absolute direction of your life. And when you start to understand that, you really make big change. And I think that's what's happening. And of course, when it comes to Scorpio, you know that depth and transformation is a pretty big thing, which by now in life you should be pretty used to. Even if you're very young, most Scorpios, even at a very young age, start transforming early. They're more in depth. They seek more inner work, and transformation is a huge thing. The age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. So what you're healing, what you're learning, you're starting to understand those little things that you've already encountered in your life. The struggles, the frustration, the people mistreating you, all those things that have happened in your life, the frustrations, all the stuff you've overcome, you've been training for this. So now when the hard times come on, what happens? Of course you overcome it like nothing because you're a professional at this point. And when you start noticing that, you have a lot more faith in how you move, right? Can I get the page number, angel number 86 also? Have a look at it. We have the Age of Light. Mystics and sages throughout the ages have predicted this period in history, and you decided to incarnate in the middle of it. There's no mistake that you are supposed to be here at this time of great change. If you feel unprepared or daunted by the path that is calling you, know this. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You're way more than the days that have breathed through you in this life. You're also all of the lifetimes that came before. All of these experiences have polished your soul into the most magnificent expression that is your authentic self. Your soul has many facets. Imagine a fingerprint. Your soul is 1,000,000 times more intricate than that. If you put together all of the fingerprints of all the people you have been, you would not even get close to fathoming how much of a unique masterpiece you are. You came with your clear soul plan. You came in with wisdom beyond your years. This is the part of you that longs to be seen. This is the part of you that is ready to step forward. that is ready to emerge. This is not the lifetime to stay hidden, but to step forth and be seen and rise. The affirmation that comes with this: I call forth the soul gifts and soul training that I've received throughout all of my lifetimes. I'm ready to embody them all without hesitation and without fear. I have been training for this for lifetimes. You're starting to see that no matter what, fear doesn't get to take over. And as long as you can catch that devil, right? As long as you can notice, accept it, and stop it, right? When we become aware of the shadow self, the negative parts of us, they're not always a bad thing. They're just not being used properly because they're hidden under the filter of triggers and trauma and all those perspectives, sometimes other people's expectation. There's so many different things. But when we realize that the only way to get to our light parts is to understand our shadow, that's when we have victory. And now you're starting to notice when those triggers creep up. You're noticing what it is. You're becoming more aware. And if you need help in the middle of that, please go to my YouTube. Go check it out. All that stuff is there, and it's meant to help you. But Scorpios, that's what you're noticing. You're starting to pay attention to it. And you're starting to see the victory. You're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Which, by the way, it's a long journey. And sometimes it feels like you're not getting anywhere. And even in those moments when you're sitting still is when you're making the most transformation. And you're Scorpio. So don't ever doubt for 1 second that transformation isn't in the cards for you. It's a never-ending battle. When you start treating it as an adventure instead of a battle, that's when things really start to work for you. Hi, country boy. How are you? Welcome, welcome. We're doing Scorpio right now. How are you? It's been a while. I've been trying to get this going. Welcome, user. I'm sorry, I'm doing TikTok and my YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you. We're doing Scorpio right now, and Scorpios are learning to balance their shadow self and their... I know, Paris. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Someday, it's on the bucket list. We'll get there eventually, but lucky you. So we have the child of the cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. When you balance your shadow self and your highest self, you find that there's this line that you can walk, and you can open your mind and you can get all the suggestions. 1818, it just said on there. That's fantastic. Sometimes I can. YouTube is very good. Yeah, I'm trying to build mine. Mine's slow going, but it's okay. Slow and steady. I'm not worried about big rises. I'm worried about finding the people that I can actually help and finding the people that are going to find it beneficial, right? And the people that I have, I love watching their content. So, well, when I get time, it has been pretty hectic lately, but taking a couple hits along the way, but it doesn't matter because as we go, we're getting better and always moving forward as best we can. And I know you're doing good. Your channel's pretty big. I can't even remember. It was like 100,000, close to it? 60K? Last time I looked, though, so it's been a while, so I have no idea what you're at now, but super awesome. Like, good for you. I just need to get to 500, and then we can move forward there. Slowly but surely, I have faith. All right, and big picture thinking. This is really important, Scorpio, because instead of getting stuck in the depression and the worry of it, you're understanding that sometimes you got to focus on just the next step, but that doesn't mean you're not thinking about the big picture, and this is a huge change. I'm going to read this one so you understand what it's trying to tell you. Angel number 38. 38 was a good year for me anyway. All right, the Pleiadians are our cosmic cousins. They're here to remind us that it's never too late to learn new things and change the future. You're being called to be a visionary for the planet, to take a breath, shake off what you've been taught about the world, and hold a new vision for humanity. You're likely a natural big picture thinker, here to generate ideas for the future, here to birth a new age and dream a new world into being. The future will be woven by dream makers like you. by those with enough courage to question the way things have been and envision new possibilities for the planet. The world needs more artists, dreamers, inventors, and visionary thinkers. Perhaps you've had an idea recently that you're being called to usher in. If so, this card is your confirmation that it's divinely guided. The Pleiadians support us in this important stage in Earth's development. They want us to know that the decisions we make today will affect the well-being of our planet and all its species. They're calling on you to be a leader of the future, to hold a clear vision of what's possible, to trust that vision and follow it through with daily action, to dream in a new world into being, to hold your mind open and try not to worry about what others think, for it takes great courage to pave a new path, to trust a vision before it's a reality. So the reflection, really important. How are you being called to step up and lead? What new ideas or creations are you being called to pursue? So all of those ideas that come to your mind, the small ones, whatever it is, YouTube is very good. No matter what it is, those ideas, they don't just come out of nowhere, right? That's the universe. That's God telling you, you absolutely have the power to create this. Is it going to be something that maybe you can do in one day? Probably not. If those big ideas and desires are coming into your brain, they're there specifically to teach you, if you take the steps for it and you keep showing up, no matter what happens, you're going to keep showing up. Eventually, the win-win outcome is forecast. You're never going to lose. And you need a little bit of that devil energy, because that shadow, believe it or not, once you learn how to use it, that's your fuel. That anger, that upset, which, by the way, I teach all that in my Alchemy Emotion series. I teach all of that stuff, right? Rage is the teacher, too. Those are shadow aspects, are actually our drivers that allow us to have our victory. And you're starting to understand that and trust that, which is phenomenal. And you're showing up and doing the action steps. You're not just doing the all in my head. You're doing the action steps to back it up, which is pretty freaking awesome. All right, then I'll do that one. Where's my other one? All right, I guess it's this one. Okay, can I have one for Scorpios for the month of July? Realm Bridger. Again, eh? This one is really good. Angel number 41, which is 5. Transformation makes so much sense, especially with my Scorpios. All right. Vision. Have you ever felt that there is more than meets the eye in the perception we call reality? That there is more going on behind the scenes? Do you ever glimpse behind your physical senses and wonder if what they perceive is just the tip of the iceberg? Do you ever get visions or insights just as you are falling off to sleep? Do you dream in colors that are more vibrant than you have experienced in waking life? As you raise your vibration and explore the different states of consciousness, you may experience phenomena you might have believed only happens in fantasy stories. Through meditation and journeying, we invite a greater awareness of the subtle realities. These realms can be amazing places to bring through pioneering ideas, creativity, and to explore the edges of the universe. This card is about bridging the seen and unseen. Intuitive painting is my method of connection, but the ability to crystallize the normally intangible can manifest in other ways. Anchoring the collective dreaming for a new future is not as out of reach as we may think. Just as water changes from solid to gas to liquid, we can change the intangible in other forms. Metaphors, chords, or even maths can form the path of the visionary. Once these visions are in the minds and hearts of many, they can merge into matter. These blueprints then go to the architects, and the ideas become physicalized. It is time to dream outside the box. It is time for the inventors, the artists, the poets, and the visionary leaders to step forward and collectively dream in a new future. You are the pioneer of your life. The way forward may be in your dreams or visions. You might find it useful to do automatic writing or intuitive drawing to capture some of the most lucid information. Be creative and don't take on the opinions of others. It's time to think and do things a whole other way. After all, as the saying goes, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You're starting to understand that every time you make a different choice, no matter how small or how big, you're seeing the pathway. You're seeing different ones open up. You're seeing that victory is possible, and you're seeing that all of that work you put in is finally coming to a place where you can feel safe, secure. Doesn't mean everything's going to be perfect, but now you know that as long as you keep showing up and you keep noticing, you know, those tendencies, that anger, that obsessive tendencies, you know, the thing about devil energy, that obsession is also really good when it comes to work ethic, right? But on balance can create all kinds of damage in all the other areas, the self-care, and that's what it means. Like, you need to have that balance to get your victory. And you're starting to notice those places where you obsess, where you get depressed easily, where it holds you back. And those are the patterns, those are the triggers that keep you from building and growing at your highest best self. And you're starting to notice that. And you're tracking it, and you're checking on it, and you're becoming aware of it, and you're changing it actively every single day. Which is really, really important. It takes a lot of work to get to that space. It takes a lot of inner work. It takes work where most people don't even understand. You got to check yourself on a regular basis. You have to say, man, where's that thought coming from? And what does that mean? And do I really believe that? And if you do, then you're standing on it. And if you don't, then you're checking yourself and moving forward. And that's a really good place to be. All right, for my Scorpios, what's the angel number for the month of July? Something to help with all those tendencies and that balancing. I like the victory. That was a really good thing. What is the one where they're going to see and notice and remember? 0404. 0440, pardon me. 0404 might be important too. The gut feeling, intuition, integrity, relationships, value, insight, perception, love, and commitment. Trust your intuition. It's more than just a feeling. Be genuine with others and prioritize meaningful relationships. Remember to bring value to every interaction. Treat others with respect, as your actions will return to you in kind. Be mindful of boundaries, as too many voices can cloud your journey. Right? It's great to listen to suggestions. It's really great to, even the things that I do. I'm not telling you to do every single thing I tell you. What I am telling you is if something calls to you and it says, yeah, that feels like that would be helpful, then try it. But don't let someone tell you, you must do this, you must do that. The only thing you must do is listen to yourself and learn to trust yourself and celebrate it. Because if you show up every day, the good, the bad, the ugly, none of that matters. What other people think. What matters is when you show up. You need to celebrate you. Because when the chips are down and no one else is there to help you, who's going to have to show up? You. It will be just you. So in those moments, do you really want to care what somebody else might think? Or are you going to be like, no matter what they think, I showed up today and I deserve to be celebrated? And when you get to that point, that's when things really change. And I really kind of think that's where you're at. You're noticing it. You know there's a victory at the end of the tunnel, and you're starting to see the light. You're starting to trust your gut more. You're starting to see those little nudges are pointing to, you know, maybe those negative mindsets, that depression, the fear, the worry. Could be addiction, could be drinking, smoking, things like that. But I feel like it's more of a mindset. It could be both, right? But usually it's the mindset, the negative thought process. 2929. Okay, Spirit. I truly believe that that's what's going on. You're starting to notice it, and you're noticing that when you can get that worry, that fear, all of those negative things out of your head and replace it with something positive, with an affirmation, you really are double timing it and creating such a big difference. And you can go back in all of my other videos and you'll see I talk about this a lot because it's so important. I think you're just starting to see it actually in action. You're starting to see the results of what you've been doing, which is phenomenal. You're learning to trust yourself and your gut because you've showed up and you've celebrated yourself. I love this one. You're starting to speak your greatness. You're starting to understand that when that negative stuff creeps in, one, you're noticing it. Immediate win. That's an immediate win. But you're going to say, no, you don't belong here. Instead, I'm going to affirm what I actually believe, what I actually want, and how I'm going to move through. 30-30. Thank you, Spirit. By the way, you're speaking your greatness. You're understanding that there's the only limits that are placed are the ones you place on yourself. Good for you, Scorpio. All right. I claim my desires. I hold great visions, and I'm ready to receive. This is your affirmation for the month. Start speaking it. Whenever that negative fear, worry, any of those things start creeping in, that's what I want to hear you say. Because I promise you, you start speaking these things into existence, you start winning. Okay, go sit down. Nope, I'm working. No, you can say hi after when I'm done. So remember, I claim my desires, I hold great visions, and I am ready to receive, which is pretty awesome. Scorpio, I'm pretty proud of you. And you should be proud of yourself because that's a big, huge step that you took. And you can't beat that. What time do we got now? Oh, where am I at? 31:31. What's with the numbers today, Spirit? I'm going to try and keep these not as long because it has been crazy and I would like to get through a couple of these today. We'll see how long I can stay on here. Also, if as I'm building, trying to earn money for a new car to get us back up and running, I was also contemplating on coming on doing paid, more donation-based readings for people. If that's something that y'all would be interested in, let me know in the comments. That would be extremely helpful. I don't want to do it if people aren't going to be coming just yet because it's a lot of time of sitting there. But if it's something people have been asking and contemplating and wondering about, then by all means, let me know, and I would love to do it. 3223. I'm going to mirror back to you what it is you're asking for. All right, so what's the next one? Let me write down. Oh, I did. Who are we doing next, Spirit? Capricorn. I should have known. Okay. Give me a minute. Let's see. 34 minutes. We might get 3 done today. We shall see. I don't know. And then that'll leave 4. Maybe. We'll see. All right. I want the energy for my Capricorns. What is the energy? What are they focusing on? How are they trying to move forward in July? Not just how are they trying to. What is the best energy to focus on that's going to help them move forward? Yeah, you have your own tools. Don't worry. And this is like the collaborations, but it's upside down, right? Everything you have is already inside of you. It's not about collaborating. You're always collaborating with the universe, but learning what you have inside you and understanding your tools, what you have already, is the most important part. And you know that, right? The truth, the understanding is what you need to know, what you need to understand, and what works for you. Also, patience. This is my favorite, not favorite one. Me and the universe fight over that all the time because I'm probably as impatient as they come. I work on it all the time, but you're learning how to be patient. You're learning that the tools are within you, and you have the truth. The truth is what works for you. That's just it. That's all. That's a really good thing. Truly, it is. So, for them to move forward in that energy, trusting in themselves, learning the tools that work for them. Not what someone else is telling them, not what anyone else says, but what works for them, which is exactly what works for me isn't going to work for you. What works for you isn't going to work for the neighbor. And when we start understanding that, where did you come from? You're focusing on your own growth. Your own growth. Not what somebody's expecting from you, not what you think you should do to keep up with the Joneses or to fit into society or what somebody else says. You're focusing on your own personal growth and starting to learn what tools keep you moving forward, keep you motivated to show up for yourself. Good for you. success after a setback. And what it reminds me of, focus on your home and love. Okay, what it reminds me of, the best way to explain it, and I've had many setbacks in my life. I'm going through a setback right now. There's not much I can do about it but keep showing up, right? Allie, how are you? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're just starting Capricorn right now. And it looks like Capricorn's starting to focus on their tools that work for them, their own personal growth, which is really good because when we get out of the understanding of what other people say we're supposed to do, or you should do this, you should do that, I think I need to do this to fit into this group, to do this, to do that. It reminds me of all the times I had to do it everybody else's way, and then I failed, and then they're like, look, see, I knew you couldn't do it, but because I had to do it their way, not what worked for me. And I think what's happening is Capricorn's starting to understand, I did it all your ways. I did what y'all told me, I did this, I did that, and it didn't work for me. But I know I have the tools, I know I have the understanding, I know I have the knowledge, I have everything I need here, right? You have it all. So instead of listening and following, thank you for the confirmation, Spirit. Instead of following and doing all the things, you're saying, if I have all those tools, I have all the knowledge, I don't need to collaborate with everybody. Not just yet. Doesn't mean you're not going to do that, right? There's going to be times, but this is not the time. You did it everyone else's way. You did these collaborations. You know the truth, and the tools is what you have. You're finding balance and temperance in your ability to work with the tools that you have. You know how to use them to the best of their ability. KPH. Hey, how are you? Welcome. We're just talking about Capricorn right now, and we're focusing on the kind of the energy of the month, how you're moving forward. And the best way to explain it is Capricorn starting to see, I've done it all your way. I've done it the way the world suggests, the way community suggests, the way everyone else does. I have never tried it my way. And now it's like, I've done it all this, and now I want to do it my way. And that's it. I just finished Scorpio. Literally just finished Scorpio. And by the way, it was I'll do a quick recap since you're here. But Scorpio was that whole transformation, learning to focus on, how's the best way to put it? Well, Scorpios are kings and queens of transformation on its own, but man, what's the best way to describe it? You're more like, I don't want to say addictions. It could be, like, some could be actual physical addictions, but I feel like it was more the negativity, the obsession, the depression, the self-sabotage, the things that happen like that. They're claiming it, and they're understanding that those obsessive patterns aren't exactly such a horrible thing. They're a horrible thing when you're letting everything else go out of whack. So Scorpios were basically finding balance, saying when I can understand my shadow and I can understand my negative parts and all the things that I don't do at my best because of triggers and traumas and all the things that the perspective shifts that we go through in life. Hi, I am Aisha. You are looking good. Thank you. Appreciate that. Welcome in. So Scorpio is going through transformation as per usual, but starting to understand as I move through this, I don't need to be afraid of my shadow. If I can understand it and acknowledge those negative traits in me, those obsessive attitudes that when depression creeps in, instead of holding on to it, I know how to claim my desires, right? I know how to speak my greatness and say, no, I'm not doing the negativity. That negativity can fuel me. It will give me the energy, the anger, the things I need to move forward, step forward confidently. But you're also understanding that to do that, I must understand where it's coming from so I can track it back. And that's exactly what's happening for Scorpio. So in that balance, you're learning, instead of getting stuck on it, take it. Ask the questions. You're figuring out, okay, what do I do with this? Why am I feeling depression? Why am I going into fear and self-sabotage mode? You're checking it. You're tracking it. You're understanding it as you go through. So it's a really good balance. And just first of all, awareness is key. It's not about perfection. So when you show up to be your most aware self, obviously every way you move forward is going to be to your highest benefit. So you're starting to see the light at the tunnel and learning to trust your gut. Also, Scorpio, the angel number was 0440. And it's just telling you, you're learning how to trust your intuition. You're learning how to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Take one step at a time, the baby steps, but you're also able to zoom out and look at the big picture and not get caught up so much in the details that it takes you out of who you are. So that's kind of just a recap for Scorpio, but yeah, that's a really good, and of course, Scorpio transformation. I mean, that's what you guys do at your very best, right? So that was just a catch up for Scorpio. Sorry, I got it. There we go. Okay, so now we're back to Capricorn, and you're very welcome. And oh, did I tell you the affirmation for? Sorry, my daughter. She's always getting into stuff. I gotta watch. So the affirmation, when no negative thoughts, whatever it is, it could be anything. I didn't feel it was like an actual addiction, like alcohol, smoking, things like that. I felt it was more of an internal mindset shift thing, like the thoughts, the processes, the throwing things out of balance because you're being overworked, which, by the way, is like, we all get there, but learning how to bring it back in, learning how to understand it to bring it back in. So when those thoughts, when those ideas, the self-sabotage, the wanting to spiral comes through, this was the affirmation. I want to hear y'all start speaking it, because affirmations will save your life. I don't care what anyone says. Nobody can tell me otherwise, because it saved my life multiple times. 42 on the clock. Okay. So it's, I claim my desires, I hold great visions, and I am ready to receive. That was for the Scorpios. And it's only because I didn't do those cards yet that I know that it's still there. But, I mean, it's just, I claim it. I hold these desires. I'm allowed to, and I'm not going to let the negative thoughts weigh me down. So when they come in, these are what we're replacing it with, right? So, sorry, Capricorn, Scorpio got a recap, and that's okay, because I think no matter what, at the end of the day, yes, I'm doing these for each sign, and it usually comes with planetary alignment, and it's not that these are not things we should be doing all the time. The reason I do it like this is because the planetary alignments allow us that space. So for you guys, you're focusing on your inner struggles, on your negative thoughts, those things like that. Like Capricorn's focusing on understanding that they've done it, everyone else is, they've been listening to the crowd and not focusing on what they are. So now they're focusing on their own deep personal growth, focusing on the steps. They have the tools, but learning how to use it for themselves, and what works for them, because what works for you isn't going to work for me. But because of the way the planetary alignment is, it's a little easier. So where some things maybe you would only get one step, it's a little harder to dig deep. With the alignments, it allows for smoother transition. It allows you to take where maybe it would only be one step ahead. Now you're getting 4 or 5, because it's just a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier to peel back that and make that understanding. So that's why I kind of break it down into the signs like that.
Mom?
What, baby?
Can I get this too?
What chips? Can you reach them? Did you eat the popcorn already? Mm-hmm. All right. She's a little snacker today. So yeah, the Capricorn, you're understanding. Oh, by the way, and it's okay to understand that we all need temperance, which is patience. I don't know why that one doesn't. It likes to focus on my face, but the cards, it doesn't do very well. Hi, ladybugs. How are you? Welcome. That patience thing, it's okay to fight with the universe. It's okay to say to God, man, I'm sick and tired of being patient. Yes, you still have to be patient. Yes, you can complain about it a little bit, because we all go through that. I fight with the universe all the time.
What can we have for dinner?
I'm working right now, and you just had lunch. Go sit down.
Why?
This kid does not stop eating. I don't even know. But I fight with the universe all the time, and I'm like, man, we always want things in our own time, in our ego's timing, and sometimes it sucks. But the truth is, the whole reason we don't get it in our ego's timing is because we have to learn patience. We have to learn, and we would not appreciate it if we always got it right then and there, right? So there's many reasons why we don't get it in our time. And it's okay to complain about not being patient. Listen, I'll tell you, my car broke down. I went through a lot of things back to back here. I'm trying to work my way to get into a new vehicle. So I lost my job at the same time because I had my job was delivery. I'm building a business, all kinds of things. So I took a lot of hits at once. And I'm like, I just want a car right now. And, I'm trying to save up. Actually, my friend was really nice and started a GoFundMe for me, too. So eventually I'll get there. But I just had to be patient, and I had to be frugal and work my way through it. It's not even the worst thing that I've ever been through, so it's not that big a deal. But I could stay focused and freaking out, and I want a car now, and I'm not getting it today, so what am I going to do? Am I going to freak out and spiral and self-sabotage, or am I going to start focusing on the things I can control? Still building my business, still doing the networking, still doing all of the things, right? What am I going to do? And I think that's what Capricorn's starting to understand. I've done it all their ways. It didn't work for me, but I know all the things that I can do, and I'm going to stay doing them. And then as I'm learning, I'm going to take on more things and do that. Ma'am, what are the cards for? I don't understand your accent. These cards are just helping you understand how to show up for your best self. I don't talk about the tea or somebody else's he said, she said, who's doing this, who's doing that. I focus on how we can show up better for ourselves. And that's most important. Snacks are the only thing that keeps my kids happy. This kid, listen, I tried no matter what I do, we can't have enough snacks. If I could just buy snacks in this whole world and just keep my cupboards full, there still wouldn't be. One kid, I swear she eats for 10, and no matter how many I get, she's going to want all of them at once. And she'll open them and have 2 bites and then be like, I want to try something else. It drives me crazy. Absolutely drives me crazy. All right, so Capricorn. Knowing how to be solitary is central to the art of loving. And I love that because I don't know if you were here when I pulled the spread, okay? But this was the spread for Capricorn. You see how the collaboration is upside down, right? Focusing on the world, fitting in, doing all those things. Oh, 4 boys. You don't have a snack in your house every day. You blink and they're gone, right? I don't mean you don't have them in your house. I just mean it doesn't matter how many you buy, you blink and they're going to be gone. That's so funny. Funny but true. So yeah, you've learned that it's not about collaborating with all of the people, right? Networking, meeting people, all those things, it all eventually is going to intertwine. But when you focus so much on what's going on externally, the people around you, what they're doing, you hindered yourself from your own personal growth, right? You hindered yourself from your home, not your square 4 walls, your home, right? Your temple. You took that focus away from there, right? And you're focused on what everyone else said you should do. But if they're not showing up in your life every day, if they're not doing the things that you need to do, if they're not going to show up when the chips are down, when everything's gone and you got to find your way back through the mud, they're not going to help you and do those things, just tell you what you should do, they're not the people that you need to have in your life, right? And you're starting to understand that. It doesn't mean get rid of them all, whatever. What it means is focus on you first because you're the one who shows up every single time, right? And you're starting to understand that, right? Collaborations are fantastic. Networking is amazing. Good people in your life is one of the greatest things you could ever ask for. But if you don't know yourself and know what works for you and understand your tools and understand how to use them for you, every single time you're going to get led astray by everyone else's opinions. Okay, everyone has an opinion and everyone has a right to their opinion. And you can listen all you want. But understanding that, okay, that's a suggestion. Thank you so much. And if it's helpful, great. If it's not and you don't think it's going to be, do it your way. Eventually you'll get to a stage where you'll be like, oh, maybe that suggestion was pretty helpful. Maybe I'll try and use it. But you're understanding that when you check with you first and understand what your tools are and what works for you, you move forward faster. You move forward better. And you have more confidence because you're not worried about what other people think. Right? You did whatever other people thought for so long. Now you're doing it your way and you're finding that it's easier, happier. You get to be your most authentic self and you don't have to care what anyone else does, which is like amazing. So, knowing how to be solitary is central to the art of loving. When we can be alone, we can be with others without using them as a means of escape. Right? And then we're not blaming other people. If things mess up, it happens. It messed up. Okay, where the first place you're checking, where do I need to be accountable? What can I change? What can I do better to protect for next time? Like my car breaking down, all those things, right? Now, because it killed my savings, lots of things happened at once. It depleted it, right? So now you have to rebuild that, right? But now, knowing that, how can I prepare better for next time? How can I make sure that right? And until you're rich, it's probably going to take extra planning and extra things. But you know that. So now you know you got to set this extra 51. Thank you, Spirit. You got to set a little extra money. You need an emergency fund for the emergency fund, right? And I know it's kind of being facetious, but that's what happens, right? That's life. And you're, instead of saying, don't worry about what their number is, what they say, I know what I need. I know what my monthly amount is. I know what this is. I know what I need to do because I'm building and doing all these things, right? You trust it. You start to understand. You focus on what you know, what tools you need, all the aspects that you need. No more collaboration. You're like, when I do it myself, I got to figure it out. Eventually, you'll get to a place where you have to reach out, where you have to learn, where you have to collaborate from others. But there's a time where you have to take that information inward and really focus on how it works for you. And I think that's truly what you're doing, right? Take a solitary walk through a local park or on a trail. Embrace the solitude and appreciate the time with your thoughts. It's really, and you got two, so I'm going to read you both of them. Have patience with all things, including yourself. Look, but first of all, with yourself. It's so funny. I didn't even read it, but I knew. Write down ways in which you can be more patient with yourself. Keep this list handy to reference when needed. Write it down. Because when those struggles come into play, when all that thing comes and everyone says, you need to do this, oh, my ear's ringing, so. That means really pay attention to this. And also it means that I need to do a little more of that for myself. Because usually when that happens, I'm saying, yeah, you too pay attention, you too. Right? It's what happens, right? Collaborating, working. People are amazing, and doing those things for ourselves are amazing, but also learning to take those tools and focus inward before we worry about what anyone else has to say. You're always going to do your very best, but when you listen to others, it's a lot easier to get led astray. Your boundaries start shifting because you're focused on what everyone else thinks and not what you think. And we don't want to do that, right? All right, let me have a self-care one. Capricorn, that's learning how to be, I don't want to say hyper-independent, but learning how to be autonomous, right? In your own skin. Learning how to focus on what you already have, the stuff you already have, the stuff you already know, and then learning how to apply it in your life. And not caring what anyone else says, thinks, or does about it. Which is fantastic, which is exactly the way we should be in our life, right? Everyone forgets that Icarus also flew. This is a self-care one, so this is reflection. And it seems like there's a lot of inspiration and reflection going on, which is good. Because when you're reflecting on yourself and the things you think, do, and say in your life, it shifts completely how you behave, how you treat others, and how you move forward in the world. Think of something that you've been feeling particularly negative about recently. As an experiment, flip the switch. How could it be reframed as a positive? Repeat the positive affirmation to yourself 5 times or as many times as it takes until you begin to see its truth. Speak your greatness. Don't ever stop speaking it. Understand that it's there. It's meant to teach you exactly who you are in this world and how to move forward with love. When we speak out of fear, we just manifest more of it. And the world's full of fear. We don't need any more of that. There's enough things to be upset, fearful, worried about in this world. And, we're kind of over it. We don't want to do that anymore. And I don't blame you. Good for you, Capricorn. Independence at its finest. And once that, your confidence, you're learning to be confident. So you get to be your most authentic self. You don't have to worry so much about it. You're like, I don't care what people think. And then we have expect powerful change. And then it says a new romantic cycle begins. Yes, it could be like literal love outwardly, but I feel like it's more inward, right? You're focused on you. You're doing self-love. You're focused on all of the good things that matter to you. Oh, do you guys get bored for real? TikTok violation. Oh, and a month suspension. Oh my Lord, don't scare me. I gotta take a break. Y'all waste your energy way too much. Also, there you go, Capricorn. That's exactly focused on. You don't give a shit what other people think. And you're starting to understand that. And when people come up and they try to sidetrack you, you're not allowing it to distract you. And that's really good. Good for you. All right, so as we're focusing on being autonomous, yeah, good for you. Actually, I'm really proud of this because it takes a lot to get to this place of understanding. I wish I could figure our... What number is it? Apparently this one's hard to find. 132, which is 6. Ooh, alignment. I like it. What did I say? That was horrible. 132. There it is. Okay, this is You're Not For Everyone. And yeah, you're starting to get it. You're like, it's not up to me whether they like me or not. We don't care about that anymore. We're focused on our own selves. I already know what I've learned to this point, and I'm gonna keep doing it your way. So you're gonna judge me regardless, or I'm gonna just do it my own way and care about how I look at myself in the mirror. At the end of the day, when I do things, how I feel. Good for you. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. No matter what anybody has to say. Because your true north is never going to be the same as somebody else's. It's your true north. Not what they think it should be. Not when someone says, oh, we should do this. It's yours. The world is filled with people who, no matter what you do, just won't like you. But it's also filled with those who will love you fiercely. They are your people. You're not for everyone, and that's okay. Talk to the people who can hear you. Don't waste your precious time and gifts trying to convince others of your value. They won't ever want what you're selling. Don't try to convince them to walk alongside you. You'll be wasting both your time and theirs, and will likely inflict unnecessary wounds that will take precious time to heal. You're not for them, and they're not for you. Politely wave them on and continue on your way. Sharing your path with someone is a sacred gift. Don't cheapen it by rolling yours in the wrong direction. Keep facing your true north. Pulling this card means you're being called to embrace your uniqueness, to own your weirdness, to let the world see who you really are, to reveal your multifaceted, multidimensional nature, not to dim your light according to who is in your presence, to own all parts of yourself so that your people, the ones who are the same kind of weird as you, can recognize you when your paths cross. And it's so important because those are the people you want to collaborate with. Those are the people that you want to see you. And they're going to walk right on by and they're going to miss you if you can't be yourself. If you're so afraid of what everyone else will think, what happens, right? How can you embrace your weirdness and not care so much about what other people think? And you're starting to ask yourself that. How can I do that? Am I doing that? Do I feel good? That's amazing. Understand little. Still watching and subscribe to you so I will learn English from you. That's fantastic. And I appreciate that. And if you have questions, yes, I talk fast. I'm sorry. what I do. But if you have questions, I'll always do my very best to slow down and do that. Hi, Comedy. How are you? Is it Imran? Imran. I butcher names, but I'm pretty sure I remember, or I'm close. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. We're just doing Capricorn right now. I'm very good. Well, struggles, but still good. I'm always good, even in the struggle. I was correct. Yay, me. Okay, so you're learning how to expect powerful change. You're learning how to walk alone and not give up on the group, but you're focused more on you and what you know and the tools you already have, and you're learning that it's okay to not like to be patient. You're learning that yes, patience is a virtue and we all need it, but it's okay to be mad that, we're not really great at patience. It's okay to check yourself and be like, yeah, I know I need to be a little more patient. But being patient with others means also being patient with yourself, and people forget that. And when you set those expectations high for yourself, it also makes it so you're less patient with others. So, oh yeah, December, right? That's when you see your girlfriend. Well, not your girlfriend, but the girl you really like. 5 months already, eh? It's like time flies. Good for you. All right. Oh no, I marked that. That's okay. We'll do Sagittarius next because I wrote on that card. All right. So you're just learning to be your own person and focus on you. And I really like that because it takes being really brave to do that, because you stop fearing all the things coming for you and you start noticing what you can actually do in this world, and you start becoming more confident in the way that you show up. Ooh, divine orchestration. Okay, I'm still talking. You gotta sit down. Okay, no yelling. Are you getting dressed? She's wild. All right, so we got the Council of Light. I'm counting. Time flies rapidly. I bet you're getting excited. Looking pretty today. Ah, thank you for that. I have my moments. It's because I've been sitting home, which is actually, I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. The whole not working right now is stressing me out, but I'm like, well, I'm home. I'm going to make the most of it and do the things that I got to do. And making sure my self-care is on there. So even with the negatives, you got to balance the good. Coffee done. I'm actually on just my water right now. I had my coffee for the morning, and now I'm ready to drink water for the day. Appreciate you. Council of Light, where are you? Angel number 94, which is 13, which is 4, which is your stable foundations. You're focusing on your foundation, and you're recognizing that your foundation is you. Not your neighbors, not your mom, not your brother, not your wife, listen, all those people, yes, are part of your foundation, but if you don't know and understand you to the best of your ability, you're going to miss out all the other things. So you're understanding that, yes, those things do matter in the grand scheme of things, but first and foremost, you must focus on you, which is your foundation, your connection with Source, your trust in the angels and your spirit team and your ancestors and in the universe to bring you exactly what you need, because they've already given you all the tools, right? They've already showed you the truth. They've given you all the tools. You already know that. And you've heard everyone else's way of doing it, and you've done it their way, and it didn't work for you. So now you know, it's like everyone else had a chance to screw it up. Why don't you get a turn in your own life? You're starting to become main character, and that's really good. What will be your lucky number? Let me finish this, and I will pull one just for you. Actually, yeah, give me 1 second. I'll pull it. Let me read this. The Council of Light is a team of benevolent beings who are here to assist the raising of consciousness of the planet. They are here to help you achieve your soul mission and are guiding you every step of the way. However, because we live in a world where free will reigns, they cannot help you without your permission. If you would like their assistance, it's time to ask them. They can help you with all kinds of requests. Nothing is too big or too small. Think of them as your personal team of helpers in your spirit realm. They're willing and ready to step in and get to work. What would you like help with? What tasks would you like to delegate to them? The Council of Light is a team of ascended masters, light beings, angels, and guides devoted to the rising of the earth and all humanity. If you are a light worker, it is from them that you receive your personal mission. Like a spirit world, United Nations, they want to thank you so much for doing this work and devoting your life to uplifting the planet. Pray to them for clarity and guidance regarding your personal mission. Put in your requests and let them get to work. This is your affirmation. That sounds good. Okay. Council of Light, I am ready to receive your help fulfilling my personal dharmic mission. Thank you for guiding me with clarity and every step of the way, for sending me helpers and experiences that delight my mind, body, and soul. Nothing is too big or too small. That's what people need to understand, right? There's not... Literally, like, I kid you not, when the best way to give the examples, and I can only speak from my own life. So when I say these things, I'm not... I had to have my meltdowns. I had to have my cry. I had to, like, be angry. Because when you just ignore that, then it builds up and explodes and things happen. I had a right to be angry. I had a right to be upset. A lot of things happened at once, right? And then my friend started the GoFundMe, which is, I posted it on my YouTube. It's up there to help me get into a car. I didn't create that. A friend created that and was like, they've seen the things that I've done, the work, right? You don't know who and when and how these people are going to come into your lives. You don't know where it's coming from. I had no idea, right? It was something that happened. By the way, all of my TikTok people, you can always watch all of my recordings. I have thousands of, maybe not thousands yet. I think I have almost 1,000 videos of all the back stuff, of all the stuff that I teach. And just because trouble happens doesn't mean we let it wear us down and stop, right? No, thinking actually sometimes can take you out. Thinking properly, thinking not in that negative perspective, and thinking about moving forward, right? What's the lesson? What can I do to move forward? What's my next step? Not what's my next 20, oh my God, this is never going to work, right? It's what is my next step? What can I do next? Learning how to take it in. And sometimes that next step is I need to freaking cry. I need to scream for a minute because I'm frustrated and I'm so tired and this, right? And that's okay too. Don't get stuck in it. Feel it, express it, move forward, right? And that's like my system. I talk about it all the time on my videos. Are you doing the collective? Right now I'm doing the Capricorn. Next one will be Sagittarius. But what I'm talking about, and if you're listening and you're feeling called to it, even if you're not a Capricorn, there's something in there that's going to be helpful to you. That's what I always find when people pop in. But I always do the monthly ones, and I do them one at a time. So this recording will go up in on my YouTube, and then it gets posted each one. So like I've already done Scorpio in this one. This is Capricorn now. And then I'll do one more, which is probably going to be Sagittarius. And that'll be the energies for the day. Then if you want to watch the replays, I have the timestamps, and then you can go and click right to them. Positive, negative, but neutral is difficult to manage. You can't... My TikTok ID is I am creatively guided. And then for my TikTok, my YouTube is creativity guides me. Yeah, it's always good to listen, and it's just good to understand that even no matter what, like this is for Capricorn right now, but at any given time in this world, we can absolutely understand how this could be beneficial for us at any stage of the game, right? So learning, and when you feel called to it, it means that your soul is ready. You're ready to hear it. You're ready to put it into practice, and or you're doing it, and it's like a confirmation saying, yes, you're on the right track, right? And understanding that is a really good space. I do it based on the planetary alignments, and I do each sign simply because sometimes it's focusing inward, sometimes it's taking that bold step forward. But wherever your sun sign, wherever you are, and how the planets align, where maybe you would only get 1 or 2 steps forward, because of the way they're aligned and what you're being called to and how you're feeling, the way they're aligned, it makes it easier. Instead of going 1 or 2 steps, you may get 4 or 5 or 6 steps in that direction a little easier because of the way the planetary alignments are. All right. Comedy, I'm going to pull this one. Look at that right away. I'm going to pull this one right away for you. This is not the one for Capricorn, but if it calls to you and you start seeing it everywhere, then you'll know for sure it was for you. This one is for you, 2020. Compassion, mercy, diplomacy, potential, service, healing, adaptability, and renewal. Your beliefs and assumptions are validated, showing that you are on the right path. Embrace your talents and gifts, using them to benefit both the world and your own prosperity. And I'm going to tell you, okay, hold on. I'll tell you in a sec. Serve others with kindness and generosity, as your potential is boundless. That was just for you, Imran. But if you feel called to this number or you start seeing this, anyone else that sees it, understand that that's where you need to start. And self-compassion is key, right? Also, so for actual everyday example, I have my business, creativelyguided.ca. I sell my teas, I teach emotional awareness, I help find clarity in the next step. I do a lot of things. But I focus always so much on the impact. Like I want to help. But we also have to sustain ourselves. So when things happen, like when my car breaks down and now I'm out of work and all those extra things, it ate my savings, right? My emergency fund. So I have to rebuild that. But also learning how to balance it, right? So I can do this because I love doing this. So I don't have to work 25 hours each day, right? I can focus on doing a little bit of this, the stuff that I absolutely love, building my business and making money, right? When you're focused on impact and not making money, there has to be a balance, right? And I know eventually it will work out. Eventually those things come. So I don't fear that anymore. I used to. Even when all this happened, you know, I cried for a minute and then I'm like, none of that matters, because at the end of the day, it's going to work out and I'm going to overcome it just like I have at every point in my life. And I've been through some shit, let me tell you. So I'm trusting in it, and I'm trusting in God. I'm trusting in the right people, the right places, the right alignments, because it's always happened every single time my entire life. It's 2 a.m. now. Take care. Ooh, have a good night. I forgot how late it is there. Have a really good night. Thanks for stopping in. So starting to understand, and I think that was actually kind of aligned with Capricorn message. Like you're starting to understand it's your own personal power. And in your own personal power, you do what works for you, right? Instead of worrying about trying, yes, we all want to create impact, but we also have to understand that we have to be sustainable, right? To sustain us doing that, we have to find the resources. We have to be resilient. We have to be frugal. We have to do the things while we're building. And that's like that with anything, right? But learning how to build that out, learning how, like at first, when I first got my website up and running, I was kind of a little afraid to be like, go check out my website and go, which is dumb because I know how much work I put into it. And I know the teas are a whole story in themselves, how I made them, how they saved my life. There's so many things, the stories that need to be told and the conversations that need to be had, you know, and I was afraid to say it because I was worried what other people would think. And then I'm like, but why? Like, I built it to help people, and I'm still building it to help people, and eventually it's going to help so many people. I don't even think I can comprehend how many people it's going to help. But when we get to that stage and we understand that, you become a little more confident and a little less worried what people think, because you know what you did, you know what your intentions are, and Capricorn, you're finding confidence in your own stuff, understanding your own tools, and not letting someone take that from you. And you're learning to trust the timing. It is the right people, the right places. They're coming into your area. The right people are starting to follow you. The people that need to see you are going to show up. It's just, you're not worried. I've got the tools. I've been doing the work. I show up. I'm doing the thing. You know, I'm focused on my own personal growth, my own journey. Not what other people say. I'm focused on my home, not my four walls home, although we should focus on our home too. But this is our home, right? And our alignment and how we feel about ourselves and all the things that we have, that's where it is. You're understanding that even though we don't like it, temperance is needed. It's necessary. Patience is key, and yes, sometimes it's annoying as hell, but it is what it is. Oh, trust the timing. What number would that be? 114, which is 6. Alignment again. Okay. And I flip right to it. Perfect. All right. So often, those who feel like they're here for a reason sense that time is running out. And they spend their life worrying that they might miss their moment. But the only way to miss your life or your moment is to spend your time worrying about missing it. It's never too late to answer a calling, and you're never too old. The tides of your life are magnificently orchestrated to come in and out in perfect unison. Don't race ahead and ride a wave that was never meant for you. You'll waste your precious time and energy when instead you could be enjoying your life. Everything has a season, and you're being called to trust the one you're in. Don't let impatience, comparison, or competition or paranoia disturb the seeds. It seems that everyone has anxiety these days, constantly scanning for something they might have missed or a possible threat. Keeping our mind and our body pointed in the same direction as our soul is near impossible at such reactive speeds. Right now, you're being reminded to take a breath, trust the wave you came in on, to trust the season you're in. Time isn't running out. There's plenty of time. There's no rush, and it's never too late. Oh, Bars, welcome, welcome. How can you trust the timing of your life a little more? And that's why I told the story just like I did. I could be freaking out. I don't have a car, all these things. You know, the savings is depleted, but we're working on it. We're building it. We're doing what we need to do. Bars, you know what? You should go to my YouTube, and then you could help me there, too. That's the one I'm trying to build. So, welcome, Jojo. Welcome. So, truly, that's what you should do. My YouTube is Creativity Guides Me. I'm trying to build that one. So if you want to come in with all the things which I love so much, you want to go do it on the one I'm building, that would be fantastic. Just a suggestion. I appreciate it. Jojo, I'm not telling you, but absolutely, if you would like to do that, I would love that. I was just kind of picking on Bars because Bars always comes in with the same sentences. I would say they're a hater, but they're not doing anything bad, and they're just putting more comments, which is eventually just going to get more people here. So it's beneficial at the end, right? No harm, no foul. It doesn't hurt my feelings. And I just start to see that my friend just comes to say hi, because secretly, even though you don't want to admit it, I know you miss me because you show up every single time. So thank you. All right, Capricorns. I'm really proud of you. You're trusting yourself. You're not letting somebody else direct you. You're doing what works for you. Oh, freedom. Good for you. At Jojo, girl's got a point. Ladybugs. Right, we have to just, sometimes we just smile and nod. Thank you, Bars. I do appreciate you. Ooh, you got freedom and third eye. You're starting to trust your own knowledge, your own tools. I'm going to read this one because it's important. 25, which is 7. Connecting to your spirit. Connecting to source. Good for you. I just skipped it. We're trying to find freedom, apparently. All right. Freedom means living as you choose, with your wings and heart open, able to direct your reality as you want. The quest for freedom, in one form or another, seems innate. In Western culture, the path to freedom is often equated with money. Ironically, chasing wealth can have the opposite effect due to the lengths taken for it to be acquired. It is possible to weave a life thriving in alignment with your soul's calling while financially supporting our realities. Finding that balance. Good for you. You may picture freedom in its more extreme guises, but when we truly feel free, our lifestyles may not change drastically. It is more of a state of mind. The only change might be that you are choosing to live a certain way rather than feeling obligated. We may move through periods of life in a day's blur of routine. What seemed like a dream career or lifestyle may have become somewhat of a prison. We may feel stuck, blocked, or uninspired. We might know deep down that it's no time to step into something different, but that is now time to step into something different, but feel tied to what we have set up for ourselves, perhaps financially or because others depend on us. It may feel like something needs to change externally before you can make the step, but it doesn't usually work that way. As scary as it may seem, to get off a self-perpetuating spiral, we need to initiate our own change. Small changes that don't impinge on your work or family can be enough to tell the universe you're ready for something else. Think about where you might find inspiration, then begin researching and try it out. Try a few new things. This will help shift the direction of your inner being. Before you know it, opportunities will start to open for you. It will then be your choice to follow a new path or to continue as you are. Letting go, trusting, and loving without limitation are also a big part of internal freedom. There are lots of ideas about what freedom can be. Having a framework for what it can be means even more freedom can flourish. Complete freedom can also be overwhelming, confusing, or ungrounding. Structure and security are friends of freedom. They support fun, safety, expansion, sustainability, and exciting possibility. Bring a deeper sense of freedom to a situation. A limitation may be a state of mind. A shift of perspective can help bring a sense of lightness and choice. Also consider that what freedom looks like to you in the bigger picture of your life. If you are feeling stifled in an environment, it's up to you to make a change. Add pleasurable moments or practices that cultivate a sense of great freedom in your day-to-day life. If you are currently experiencing greater freedom, you may feel unsettled. Consider whether it is the kind you were looking for. If you feel ungrounded and lost, perhaps you could add some structure to your world to optimize your freedom. So again, no matter how you look at it, freedom is your balance, right? It's how you find balance. And only you know. You follow your head and your heart, right? It's not one or the other. It's finding them in alignment. And you're understanding that you already have the tools and you're not focused on what other people think or say or do. Even when they suggestions, like when I'm telling these and I come on here and I have these conversations and I give these suggestions, I'm not telling you to go home and do them all. I'm saying, hey, if it feels like it's something that feels good to you and it feels like it's going to be helpful to you, then by all means, try it. Yes, do you want an angel number card? I can absolutely do that. I was about to pull one for Capricorn, but I'll pull one just for you. Or did you want one of the other cards? I can do, we have a whole bunch of them. So you tell me what kind of card you want. If you want angel number, I'll do that. Any one of them, whatever you feel. You know why I like the angel numbers? And I do these ones so much? Because one, when they pop up, you start seeing them everywhere. It's a reminder of the message, right? And then also, it helps inspire you. And I promise you, once you get the number, you'll start seeing it everywhere, and you're going to be like, damn. And what that number is, one, it's a hug from your angels. Two, it's a reminder to pause. Do a body scan. Do a thought process check. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What is going on in my area? It's a reminder to get present, right? Scan the area. How are you feeling? The conversations around you, the TV shows playing, what's on the radio, because there's some inspiration. There's a flash of something there that's going to help you move towards your highest best self. So that's why I always like these, because it's not only just a hug, it's a reminder. And when you start seeing it, that means the message sticks. And when the message sticks, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to make a change, right? You're going to do for your best. I am Canadian. How about you? Ooh, 4. This one, oh, where's my camera? It's specifically for you. That's protection. I am Canadian. Transformation, courage, alignment, clarity, purpose, strength, and divine love. Prepare for the blessings you've been waiting for. They're on their way. You were born for a higher purpose. Focus your energy on your goals and trust that the universe will align the right people. Listen, this number has saved my life a million times. Opportunity. Okay. Focus your energy on your goals and trust that the universe will align the right people, opportunities, and resources to realize your dreams. This one's just for you. So when you start seeing 444 everywhere, just remember that. And it will start showing up. Seeing it today on my walk. Oh, that's fantastic. The extra 4 is just a reminder that your connection with spirit is really, really important, right? That's 16, 6 and 1 is 7. That's your connection with source. Good luck. But it's also a reminder that you are loved, you are worthy of love, and of course your divine protection, right? That's your stable foundation. This is your stable foundation, your head and heart. So when you start seeing it everywhere, and you start seeing it everywhere, you may see 4-4 sometimes. You may see 4-4-4-4, right? You're such a beautiful person. Thank you. Oh, you're very welcome, and I appreciate that. No matter what happens in this world, we all have that beautiful person in us, and we all have that asshole in us too, and we need to understand that. And when we learn, we don't have to shy or hide from one or the other. When we start doing that, we actually hinder ourselves, and we hinder the people around us because they don't get to see who we actually are. When we learn that we sometimes have to pull from that asshole to keep the focus forward, right? To keep us moving forward, to use that anger, that frustration, that things to dig deeper, to learn a little more, to ask. Right. And we have to find that balance, right? And doesn't mean we have to go being evil to people, but sometimes that anger can say, like, what do I need to do here? What is it trying to show me? And if you go to my YouTube, I actually talk about alchemy emotion. I talk about transmuting. I talk about emotional awareness. This is what I focus on. I'm so passionate about it. Self-care, self-love, celebrating every baby step, every big milestone, and understanding that if we don't do that, and trust me, I give myself trouble all the time. I love dance so much. It's been a long time for me. I used to when I was younger. I've lived a lot of life, so I haven't danced in a long time, but it's something that I would love, love, love to do. As my daughter is starting to get a little older, it's a struggle because, she's got some learning struggles and, working on those diagnoses. Finding that time to do those things, like I don't know technical dance or anything. It was just, yeah, that's what I do too. It's not, there's no technical learning or anything. When I do, it's just a vibe thing. Don't worry, I can't type either. So that's why I do all my talking, because if I had to type it, we'd all be in trouble. What is Capricorn? It is. You know to expect powerful change because you've been doing the work. You're focused on yourself. You're figuring it all out. And I'm super proud of you. You're finding patience too, and you're learning that every step deserves celebration. Every single one. Now we got, what do we have for Capricorn? Starting over. 101. This is actually really perfect. Wisdom, transformation, resilience, growth, empowerment, new beginnings. And trust you, me, I am the queen of starting over. I've had to rebuild from less than nothing so many times I can't even count. There's just so many. It's not a bad thing. You get better at it, and it gets easier. And the things that you learn, once you learn it, you can't unlearn it, right? Yeah, me too. My car just broke down. My neighbor started a GoFundMe. I lost my job and my car at the same time because I was door dashing to build my business because I have a childcare and all that. It's just when your bills are $4,000 a month, you know, it gets a little, it becomes a struggle. And trying to build something and maintain, it's a lot. But it's something you can bring your child with you for a reasonable amount. We're not working 20 hours, but it's sustainable while you're building all the other things. When the car went out, and then you use the savings to get it fixed, and then it goes out again. Just trust me, it was a lot. It was a big hit, and they put a GoFundMe up, and I actually ended up sharing it on my YouTube because I thought that was the nicest thing, because I didn't ask for that, and you know, I'm not watching it or focused on it. I'm doing whatever I have to do on my own, and then if that pans out and actually ends up getting help, then that's fantastic. If not, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, nobody helped me, because it'll work out. I'll find a way. It always does, you know. Just because it's not happening tomorrow doesn't mean it's not going to happen, right? And my wagon broke yesterday, and now, yeah, it's just nuts, eh? Like, the things that I actually got a small wagon, and my daughter won't sit still in it. So I'm stretched to the max, but got it. Oh, yeah, it is. And you have to have faith because the right people will always come. The things that I've done in my life, even when I didn't have much of anything, I see homeless people out there, and I have $5 in my pocket, I'm going to give it to them, right? If I know I have food in my fridge and I have what I need, you know, if I'm seeing someone struggle, like, sounds kind of dumb, but like when somebody else's car died, and my car was still running, but everyone was just driving around them, honking at them, and they're young, younger kids, like probably like 19, 20, something like that, but obviously had never been in that situation, and instead of honking, and I pulled up behind because I have an older car and I had a battery, like the jump starter or whatever, and I asked what is the problem? They're like, I think the battery died, and I'm like, okay, I have a jump starter. Do you want to try it? And you know, I'll follow you around if we can get it started, I'll follow you around the corner so you can get to the parking lot, right? Or at least so you can call somebody. And I helped them, and they made it, and everything was good. A lady blew her tire. I helped with the air compressor, like those small stupid things. I'm not trying to brag myself up. What I'm trying to say is, like, you could be the person driving around honking and like, oh my God, they're disturbing my day, you're such assholes. Or you could take a moment and say, man, I've been there before, right? And you know, stopping to help somebody isn't going to hinder you. But in those moments, okay, right now, yeah, I'm in a struggle, but you think that God's just going to let me die out and things going to happen? He's going to let me cry about it and be frustrated, and I did. I had a meltdown for, you know, about 30 minutes and said, okay, I gotta figure it out, right? Like, I don't have to figure it out all today, but I have to have a path, and I have to step. Right, and you have to take one step at a time, not all 10 of them. You got to do what you can do and what you've learned to do to this point, and keep showing up doing that, right? And when a pathway opens up, you take a step on that pathway. Or maybe you wait a minute and say, maybe that's not the pathway I want just yet. Let's just not rush and see if another one opens up here, right? Because maybe there's another possible pathway that's not going to put you in worse of a position, right? And sometimes that happens, and that's where discernment comes in. And when we start understanding that starting over is a new good thing, it's not a bad thing. And I think Capricorn, that's what they're seeing. Me, personally, I've just done it so much, it comes so naturally to me that I just know what I put out in the world every single day. I know when it comes back to me, it's going to come back tenfold, just like for you too, right? And even if you're not out there helping people every single day, you're helping your kids, you're showing up for them, you're teaching them what it's like to be a good human being. It doesn't matter if they have learning struggles. It doesn't matter what any of it is. You're showing them what it is to be a good human being. You're showing up with love and compassion and ways to teach them how to be better human beings. So no matter what you do, it's guaranteed that all of that love is going to come back to you. So sometimes it may take a moment looking up extra resources or whatever, but 1000% the right people will show up for you. And when we start to understand that, it's a lot easier to trust. And they come out of nowhere too. Like, I'm going to give a simple little example, and it may sound cheesy, but I need you to understand how much it made me cry at the time. So literally I spent all my savings to fix the car. Okay, and I had to wait a week and a half because they ordered the wrong part. So I was out of work for this long. So my savings gone, whatever. Get the car back 24 hours later, it dies, completely dead. And so now I could use that money to actually get a cheaper car, and I probably would have had a car right now. But I didn't know that at the time. But it was stranded, and a friend had CAA, and they got my car towed where I didn't have to pay for it, which was amazing. But I had no money for food. I had no money for anything, and I just gave it all, and now I had no income coming back. So I got a call because my daughter's in doing like occupational therapy. She's speech and language, and had a lot of the fine motor skills, things like that. But because of the programs that I've been trying to get her on, because she's still waiting for assessments, they have these programs sometimes that happen. And I got a call literally the next day, because I'm like, how am I going to get food, whatever? And they called me from I don't want to say church, it's like a family group. And they're like, are you going to come pick up your hamper today? And I'm like, for what? Like, I had no idea. But we had been referred, because I'm a single mom, and I'm doing it all my own. We had been referred to this thing, and they do it, for like 6-month periods, but it's like that little extra help. And they called. I'm like, I didn't know. And they called me, and they're like, well, just come tomorrow, and we'll give it to you. And they sent me the email. They're like, yeah, you were approved. You didn't know? And I was like, I didn't even know I applied. And she's like, you didn't. You were referred. And I was like, oh, okay. But I was literally in my brain, like, what am I going to do for food? And that's all I can think about is, like, in this moment, how do I maneuver this? What's my next step? And I'm like, when your whole world is like, I got to do this and this and this, and you got to fire off all these things. And just, like, that was my immediate worry. Like, how am I going to feed my kid? What's going to happen? And they called me. I didn't call them. They called me. I was like, thank you, God. Like, those are the things that, yeah, starting over scary and all those things happen, but been living in this trust for 6 months. Yeah, it's absolutely what it is. And when people start understanding that, and I say God, I say universe, I say source, I say spirit, and the reason I do is because I'm not trying to say, you don't believe this, you don't belong here. It's not about, it doesn't matter what you believe, what you follow, any of those things. There's good and bad in all of it, and you're only going to get out of it what you put in, right? And when you start seeing the world reflecting back to you with love and kindness and help in the things that you do on a day-to-day basis, it's guaranteed. Right, and that's me too. I do the exact same thing, and that's why a lot of times I say source or universe, because it's not the one thing. And if you go back to like native cultures and all of that, where they're thanking the sky, the trees, the sun, the air, the water, the fire, right? How are you going to tell me that they all went to hell? No, right? So it's like, it's not one thing, it's your heart, right? At the end of the day, your heart gets weighed, and that goes by your actions and who you are. So it's not, I believe in God, but I also believe that God wasn't just the one name, one word. So what about all these different languages? You're telling me that it's not the same thing. It is very much the same thing. And that's, of course, my opinion. I'm not the one and only, but that's what I believe, and that's hopefully the way I believe it is to be, more kind and caring. And I just believe you can know by their fruits, by what people are doing. And no, not when they're on hard times. It's how they behave when they're going through hard times. It's how they behave when they have good times. Are they walking by and kicking people when they're down? Or are they saying, hey, would you like a hand? You know, are they helping somebody cross the road? Are they holding doors open for people? You can see how people are by their behaviors, right? And the ones, just because they're not doing everything perfectly doesn't mean that they're wrong. Maybe they don't know a better way yet. So giving them grace and compassion is, once we've learned to give that to ourselves, it's a lot easier to give to others. And Capricorn, that's what you're doing. When you start seeing that number, just know you're on the right path and you're doing the right things. And it's really actually exciting. Happiness stems from self-expression, growth, and experiences. View failures as steps to deeper wisdom. Happiness is real, achievable, and all around you. Appreciate both the small and significant moments on your journey. Failures are opportunities for renewal. Embrace the fresh start ahead. You're having faith and confidence in the tools that you and you alone have within you. There's all kinds of tools out in the world, out in the universe, right? But if you don't understand what you have and the capacity and how you can use them, it doesn't matter what's out there. You're not going to be ready to receive or use them until you know and understand yourself. Just like when people say, well, if you don't know the voice of God, you can't do this or you'll get swayed another way. Well, I'm going to do you one better, because if you don't know your own voice, your own desires, your own thoughts, your own true north, if you don't know that, how are you going to know God's voice? How are you going to know another voice? You must know your own first, period. That's how you can hear. That's how you can listen with an open heart. That's how you can hear with an open mind, right? Because we're not hearing to respond. We're active listening so we can help ourselves, so we can understand ourselves. And Capricorn, that's a big step, my friend. That's a very, very big step. I'm super proud of you. I have to get an affirmation, and then we'll finish up Capricorn. And just so y'all know, these side conversations and things, the reason I talk about them the way I do is because in the moment, those conversations are directly aligned, right? Those are the questions. Those are the conversations that you're having with yourself, with your spirit team, with others around you. And yes, you're learning. You're not being hyper independent. I don't need anybody. I'm too good for them. You're not doing that. What you are doing is saying, I've listened, I've done it all your way and all your suggestions, and thank you for all of them. But maybe I just want to focus on me and my own personal growth, and I want to understand, I want to try it my way for once. There's nothing wrong with that. It's something to be really proud of. Starting over. You're not starting over from scratch, from in the ditches with nothing. You're starting over from wisdom, experience, kindness, love, and compassion. It's win-win. Win-win outcome is forecast. Expect powerful change. Why? Because you've been doing the work. You've been absolutely doing the work. Okay, give me an affirmation for my Capricorns. You flipped it right out. I breathe calmly and easily. I am safe in this moment. When we break out of that, away from the crowd, away from other people, right? There's this moment where, what am I going to do? What if I screw it up? What if all this happens? There's the what ifs, the shoulda, woulda, couldas, all the things that will just drive you crazy if you let it. But when you understand that and that creeps in, this is what you're going to say. I breathe calmly and easily. I am safe in this moment. If you're breathing and you're here and you have the ability to listen, hear, watch, you're safe in this moment. Breathe that in, breathe it in deeply, and when that fear creeps over you, that's what you're going to say. And then, taking care of myself is a radical act of self-love. Doesn't mean just physically, mentally. How am I feeling today? What is my capacity? Do I have the ability to people today? Maybe I just want to hang out in my backyard for a little bit, and maybe I don't want to go deal with 100 people, 144, 14 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. Maybe I don't have it in me, and that's okay, because that check-in, that's self-care. That's taking care of yourself. That's saying, I don't have the capacity to do these other things, so I'm going to save that energy for the absolute priorities that I must do, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's that. Good for you. That kind of self-awareness takes so much practice, I can't even begin to tell you. And it's something that you need to be extremely proud of. Okay, to 1-4, let's go 145. And we're going to do one more, which will be Sagittarius. And then, sorry, I can't write. I'm going to do 150. So I did this one. I'll be a little bit long, which sucks because usually I try to keep it under 2 hours. But I said I'm going to do 3 today. So, and then tomorrow we got 4 more left to do. So, but also any of these, if you're seeing it and you've missed it, if you go to my YouTube at Creativity Guides Me, they're always listed. They have their own playlists and all that stuff. They get split up into each one. I post the lives always. I replay them, but always with the timestamps too, so you can click right to them and go to that part of the video and watch the ones that matter to you. So, but I like to do these like this, and instead I have to upload and do all the crazy stuff back and forth, so I just stay live on both, and it's a lot easier. But now we're gonna do Sagittarius. So give me just one sec. And I love my little crystals. And everyone says, like, you shouldn't, I forget how it said, but we're not supposed to admire things or put things above this. Listen, if the actual earth creates such beautiful stones, such beautiful energy, like these are created, yes, man, smooth and all that, but the earth, the actual thing that we walk on, stand on, breathe on every single day, created these beautiful gemstones, these beautiful works of art. They absolutely deserve to be admired, celebrated, and that's just my thoughts, my opinion. That kind of work, that kind of art put in, energy put into something, imagine the time, imagine the pressure, the amount of all the things that had to happen for those things to be created. How could you not admire it? And if you created something even close to that, what do you think that you would be feeling? Pride, for sure. All right. For my Sagittariuses for July, what is your energy? What are you focusing on? How are we moving Ooh. This says temporary financial hardship, what is it? The 5 of Pentacles. So we're getting, I want one more for that, because I don't think that's what you're focusing on. I feel defeat. Oh, you're getting the Fool. Yeah, that makes sense. So, good for you. The Fool. Stepping out on a new adventure. You're taking the loss, the betrayal, the feeling left out, put aside, the victim mindset. You're saying, yeah, I'm over this shit. I gotta go. And you're going out on your fool's journey. You're refusing to stay stuck in victim. You're refusing to say, I don't want to do this anymore. The whole world's against me. Everything is not my fault. Why is this happening to me? And you're trying to say, why is this happening for me? And how can I use this, maneuver through it, and, of course, overcome it, right? You're learning how to focus what that mindset is and how to move through it. We don't do you reap what you sow, son of Virgo. So you're focusing on new endeavors. You're taking that journey, but you're looking at it as an adventure. You know, maybe you have been through a little bit of loss or some things happening, as we all at some point in our life have done. You're focusing on that, and you're learning how to follow your dreams, right? You're starting to flow with it. You're saying, nah, I'm not going to live in this victim mindset. I'm going to move forward with love and compassion and wonder. I can worry or fear all of the things that are happening. I can hate everything. I can go full victim mode, or I can focus and understand that it's an adventure. I can be like that fool and say, what am I to learn? How am I going to move forward? I refuse to be stuck in victim mindset. I lived there my whole life. I don't want to be there. And start trusting in the universe. 0. The reset, the start over. It's like a continuation. I feel like the 3 that I did, Scorpio, Capricorn, Sagittarius. Scorpio was the transformation. Capricorn was the I did it your way. Now it's my turn to try. And Sagittarius is it doesn't matter how it's getting done. I'm taking that step, and I'm not gonna be held back. I'm not gonna be beat down. I'm not gonna worry or fear. I'm not going to get stuck in victim. I'm going to find the silver lining, and I'm going to move forward no matter what. So what it feels like is all of you are on this journey, but you're at different stages. But the transformation is a little bit different, but you're in the full-on action part, Sagittarius. You're not staying stuck or worried or any of the things. You're like, nah, I'm done with the victim. I'm stepping out. I'm going strong, and I'm going to figure it out as I go. But I'm not going to figure it out, why is this happening to me? I'm going to say, ooh, what can I learn? What is this showing me? Much, much different mindset. Compassion for others begins with kindness to ourselves. Carry this affirmation with you today. I am here, right now, and that is enough. Good for you. Good for you. You're taking this journey and you're saying, maybe I only get 2 steps today. Maybe I only get 1. Maybe I get a half a step. But that's enough today. I'm doing what I can. I'm learning. I'm not going to get stuck in victim. If I'm held back a little bit, I'm not going to be like, oh, they screwed me over. Oh, the whole world is against me. Oh my God, I'm never going to fit in. I'm left out. You're going to say, what is it showing me? What can I learn about this? And how can I move it? Maybe that 1 half a step was the one that you needed to wait on so you could learn the next 12 and a half. Maybe it was that one thing, just waiting for that pathway to open up. Instead of focusing on all the negatives, when the car broke down, that sucked, when all that stuff happened. But look what it's doing. It's allowing me a little more time with my house. It's allowing me time with my kid. I can get cleaned and organized. I was working like a dog trying to make it happen, trying to get a little bit ahead. And then when that happened, not only did I not get ahead, I was farther back, right? And now I can focus on that and worry and cry, or I can move forward and trust that it's going to happen exactly the way it needs to happen. And that's what you're doing. Sagittarius, the adventurous Sagittarius, is saying, yeah, okay, I get it. And I've been sitting in this victim mindset for a little bit of a long time, and I don't like it. I don't like how it feels. And I can sit here in that and just get weighed down and drown in this absolute craziness, or I can find the silver lining and I can keep moving forward. And that's what you're doing. But you're starting to look at it and wonder and be like, oh, that makes so much sense. Because you're starting to see how this leads to this, leads to this, directs back to here, but such a better way that it spirals you up to here. And you're starting to understand that. And you're starting to be like, but that wasn't the path I was going to go. That wasn't how I was going to choose that. I did not expect that detour, but look where it brought me. You're starting to see the different ways and the different... all the amazing ways the universe weaves its web. And when you just let it and stop micromanaging it and worrying about all the things, just allow it to make its way, you create that space. You give yourself that space, that love, that joy, and that wonder. That wonder, that amazement. Look at the miracles every day. There's something to be grateful for. If you're breathing, that's the first thing you should be grateful for. And then start listing it. Because when all that shit comes and it starts to weigh you down, you can get stuck in it. Or you can move forward with gratitude and say, I'm still here. And if I'm breathing, there's a chance. And you got 3. Yeah, you got 3 of the self-care one. Which means, before I even read them, it just means you're not doing the victim. You're not doing that. You're doing the fool's journey. And the fool's journey means, first, I care for me. First, I focus on what works for me. Hi, Schmitty. How are you? I focus on what works for me. I'm going to do what works for me. I'm going to take this journey. I'm going to treat it as an adventure. It's a brand new endeavor, and I'm going to get excited about it. because I'm loving myself first. I'm showing up for me no matter how it works. This is not a small voice you hear. When your inner voice speaks, it's not a small voice you hear. No one else has an inner compass exactly like yours. And you're learning how to trust it. You're learning how to hear it. And it's no longer that critical one. Oh, you're so stupid. Why did you do this? I can't believe this happened. It's not that anymore. It's like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Where did that come from? I wonder where this is going to take me. Do you see the difference? A little more excitement, a little less fear. And I really like that. Forget injuries. Never forget kindnesses. Think about recent kindnesses you've experienced and how they have shifted your outlook. What are some ways you can be kind to others around you today? Even with going through the struggle with the car. I went to McDonald's with my daughter. It was Canada Day, actually, and we were waiting for some friends, and we went to get a drink because it was really hot out. So we just went in to get a drink. That was it. And this random man walks up and says, "Could you buy me a coffee?" And I was like, "Of course," and "Are you hungry? What do you need?" So got him some food and stuff like that. And then we left and had the best day. But you don't stop if you have it, you just do it. Those are the people, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or nothing like that. I'm trying to explain that those people naturally do those things. And you're starting to understand that when you're not like this, right, when you're not stuck in victim mindset, you can see somebody else in the struggle. And you can see that, man, maybe that $5 or that $10 that I spent to, yeah, maybe it's not helping me in this moment, but it surely helped him. And maybe it was just enough to give him that push to keep going, right? You don't know what those small little things do. And you're starting to understand that it was put there to remind you of the kindness, the compassion, the ability, right? And you're starting to say, yeah, I went through some struggles. Yeah, something happens. That doesn't mean I'm going to hold on to it for the rest of my life. When I see something and I can help somebody, I'm going to do that because that's what this world should be. You know it's going to come back. Maybe they're not going to bring back food or money or something to me, but you don't think somebody else is going to? You give without ever expecting to receive. You don't expect payback. That creates a tie. That creates an obligation. That creates all those things. And then that's an expectation where you're guaranteed to get let down. So instead of doing that, whenever you give, you help. Whenever you take those steps, even when you're giving to the universe, when you're speaking it to the universe, you just know it's going to come back. You don't micromanage it or tell it where it's coming from or how it's going to get there. You just tell it what you want. You start showing up, doing the action steps, and not sitting in worry and fear and all of the things. You're doing them, and you know it's going to come. And it's going to come in the most sublime way. The ways that you just were like, wow, like, how did that happen, right? And so it'll start being just little tiny ones, right? And that's when you start to see that wonder, right? It'll be the small little tiny things, and you're like, how did that happen? Where did that come from? I didn't even know that was happening. And those kindnesses always come back, right? And when you trust that, you stop worrying about it. That's when that wonder comes about. You become that fool, just that childlike awe. Does a kid worry, right? An everyday kid, do they worry if they're going to eat today? No, because mom and dad takes care of it. Grandma and grandpa, whoever it is around them. And yes, some of them have been through so much shit, and there's some kids that actually have to worry about that. Those are the ones we want to help. Those are the ones that really have a struggle, and when we can help, we should. But if you treat your life like a child, and you're like, just like you think your parents would take care of you, God is your parents. The universe is your parents, your mother and your father, and they're taking care of you every single day. And when you get out of your own way and your own fear and all that stuff, and you allow it to lead you, that intuitive nudge, that idea to go to this store instead of that store, the suggestion, maybe I'm going to turn right today. I would have never went that way, but I passed that kid and I helped him with the battery and got him out of there. We were honking at them and terrifying. They were traumatized, literally traumatized, because they didn't know how to deal with that. right? It's simple little things, the right place, the right time. And helping them made my heart swell. It made me so happy. Maybe I don't have $1 million. Maybe I can't do all these things, but I can do that. I have control over that. And I did. I chose that, right? You're starting to understand you have the power. You have the control. You can sit in victim mindset. You can worry and fear and, oh, this happened to me, that happened to me, and oh my God, it was so stupid, and it was horrible, and why is this always happening to me? And there's a moment, listen, in any stage of the game, there's going to be a moment of this. And you need to allow that to happen, because when you're asking those questions, you're trying to understand what it is. Because sometimes it's a mindset. Sometimes it's something that actually happened that could be adjusted, changed, done a little better so it doesn't happen for next time. These questions and this thought process is there not to hinder you and not to stop you. It's to ask those questions so you can get clarity. So that maybe you can't fix it all at once, but maybe, like I was saying, I did have an emergency fund, right? And it got spent, and it is what it is, right? But maybe now I need to have an emergency fund for the emergency fund. We can't control everything, right? But these questions are meant to be there. It doesn't mean we get stuck in them. It's ask the questions. Why is this happening to me? But instead, why is this happening for me? Because there's something I need to learn. And you're learning how to reframe that. You have the control to reframe it, right? And you can choose to be in fear and upset and betrayal and all those things, or you can just be like a child in wonder and curiosity, and it's so much more exciting. And that little journey becomes an adventure, not a job, not something that you have to fear. It's an exciting adventure. Like going through the woods when you're a kid, you know, that was the most exciting thing to do. You never knew what you were going to see, right? Treating your life like that makes it a lot easier to maneuver through, and it's a lot more celebratory, because those little cool things, those detours and those stops are something we're celebrating, not worth freaking out over. To be balanced, to be without either peaks or troughs, do tell me what that is like. Thank yourself for your amazing ability to change and to embody different states of being. This is part of your personal wisdom. You are never stagnant. You're taking your adventure into your own hands. You can sit in fear, you can sit and worry, you can sit in all that things, or you can choose to love yourself and trust that as long as you're showing up for you and you're doing the right things, the universe is going to absolutely do that for you too. They're going to show up and give you everything that you could possibly ever need. You're going to speak it into the universe. You're going to get curious about how that happens, but you're not going to micromanage the universe. Star Brothers. Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. You're starting to not only trust the universe, you're starting to trust yourself. Which most of the times, if you don't trust the universe, it's because you don't trust yourself. And that comes from trauma, it comes from perspectives, it comes from other people's opinions, it comes from things that have happened, which is not a bad thing, as long as we understand where it's coming from, and how to maneuver through that, right? But once you start to trust yourself, oh man, does the whole world open up. Star Brothers, what number? 106, which is 7, which is alignment. Good luck. Connecting with your spirit team, which, by the way, the Star Brothers is exactly that. You're more protected than you can imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. You're being called to be open to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life and from the benevolent beings you're connected with. Through ancestral patterning, current life traumas, and past life karmic impressions. I love when the universe confirms exactly what I'm talking about. Like literally exactly what I was talking about. Many of us have become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocks when it comes to receiving support, which is absolute facts. We've learned that we need to go at life alone, that it's not safe to let your guard down and our heart open, that the world isn't a friendly place. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them. to see them as opportunities to let in more love. They're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you could ever imagine, both in this world and beyond. To call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's up and downs and to learn to open your heart, especially when it most wants to harden. How can you open yourself up to receiving more support? And so, is that Olivia? Hi, Olivia. Are you here? Aw. It's so true. You're starting to understand that all of the things that we do, all the things we learn along the way, you're starting to trust in yourself, in the universe. They're sending your spirit team. They're sending those people that are going to support you, the people that really want to see you shine. They're sending you all those people because you asked for it. Because you said, I'm going to trust. I asked for it. Do I know it's going to come today? No, but you're going to see little hints of it. You're going to see this little thing that pops up here, the little gift from the universe, the person that shows up with a compliment out of nowhere when your whole world feels like it's falling apart, and they say, you look so beautiful today. What a beautiful smile you have. Or they stop to help you when you thought, like, when I tell you the first time my car broke down, I was in the middle of traffic all day. I actually did a video on this because it blew my mind completely. The first time it broke down, we had been through accident after accident that day. Not our accident, but driven through them in traffic. And it was heavy, heavy traffic. People were pissed off and they were trying to zoom in and out. And you were only getting like a kilometer, every 10 minutes. And it was just brutal. And I got this DoorDash all the way out in the middle of nowhere. And I actually turned in the wrong driveway because it was far away. My car could have wrecked. The whole wheel came off the thing, right? It didn't come completely apart, but the coil that holds it together so it could drive came completely off. We were away from edges. We were away from bridges. We were away from traffic. We were away from all the things because it was me and my daughter. And we were in somebody's driveway who was not only kind. I called the mechanic. They came with a tow truck. They got it ready. Something that could have been so traumatic and detrimental and actually probably could have killed us in all of the traffic and the things that were going on was so calm and smooth and safe. Okay, of all the things that we had been through, and I was already high anxiety because of all the traffic and all the things, when it happened, it was just like, okay, don't worry about it. Focus on what you got to do. And I called the person came down, checked on us. I called a tow truck, got all the things. Like, we were good. There was no way we were going to get hurt. Those are those little moments, those little miracles, those things where it could have been just devastating, right? Something so bad could have happened, but it didn't. Because I trusted, And in the middle of the crisis, I could have feared all of those things. And why is this happening to me? And the first thing in my brain was, I'm so glad that when this happened, I wasn't in the middle of traffic with my kids. I wasn't in an unsafe place, right? God always has your back. Your team shows up. That person, the owner of the place, came down, and made sure we were okay and helped us and took us into Walmart, drove us in town. While we waited for the tow truck, they came and got the tow truck. It could have been so bad, but it wasn't, right? And I didn't freak out. I didn't get upset. And even when we were without, there were so many things that we were with and that we had that how could you be mad about it, right? And Sagittarius, you're changing your perspective. You're understanding to be yourself and to do the things that you need to do. It's okay to be happy in crisis. It's okay to find the good, the silver lining, which is exactly what we need to be doing. And you're starting to treat it with wonder and with, look, I flipped right to it too. You're starting to look at it with wonder and awe, and you're starting to see these little miracles that when you wouldn't even think to count them or understand them, they're starting to take root in your mind, and you're starting to see them, and you're like, oh, that didn't happen to me. That happened for me. Because had it have happened in the middle of traffic, while everyone was crazy and honking and driving around and being stupid, we could have actually been really, really hurt, like those other accidents we drove by over and over. It could have been that, but it didn't happen. And look at the miracle way that that happened so smoothly and safely, and everything went well. Those are the protections, those are the silver linings, and those are the things that take you out of all this victim and fear and being left out and not fitting in and not being good. They take you out of that and put you into that adventurous, the fool, everything is going to be okay. And then, of course, don't dim to fit in. Don't dim your light to accommodate someone else's smallness. We are all born to shine big and bright. The universe is expanding, and you are a part of the universe. So expanding is part of your nature. If someone makes you want to retract, notice, and slowly back away. They are not for you, and you are not for them. Better yet, find it within yourself to expand and shine your light anyway. Flowers don't open and close according to who's walking by. They open and show their beauty regardless. If others don't want to be around you, or you make them uncomfortable, it's because you are shining light on the fact that they are dimming to fit in. By choosing to shine bright, you may just inspire them to turn on their light too. Or not, keep your light on anyway. All relationships are essentially an energetic agreement. The moment one person decides to start rising up and allowing their light to shine, it changes the energetic agreement and can create some waves. That's completely normal. The relationships that are meant to last will adapt to the change in energy. Others won't because they are likely born under the proviso of, I love you as long as you don't shine brighter than me. That's okay. Not all people are meant to be in your life forever, but the lessons they teach us can still live on. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And what's really happening is, I think you've been asking that question, and I think that's where that realization came in, and that's why all this other stuff was happening, right? Your silver lining was you needed to understand who you are, and that this is what happens when you try to fit in and you worry. You're putting these expectations and all that, expecting somebody else to show up for you and show out, instead of what you needed to learn was you need to show up for you. And now you're starting to understand when you do that, the good things start showing up. The good things start happening. Your people start finding you. You can look at it with wonder. The silver lining is worth getting excited about. Where's the other one? Oh, I want this one too. What is the moon energy? I kind of have the feeling here we're in the new adventures, which makes so much sense too for Sagittarius. Like, that just is. Your hard work is paying off. Recognizing the victim mindset, recognizing that why is this happening to me and all those things is actually such a huge step that you may not even know or understand in the moment. But I promise that as you start moving forward and showing up for yourself, saying thank you to yourself, affirming your greatness, you're seeing the hard work actually pay off, which also means you're getting excited about the things that are coming. It's allowing that wonder to get planted into your mind, your heart, and your body. And it's allowing you to get excited and take this adventure wherever it may lead you. Because the universe isn't going to lead you to your death. It's going to lead you to choices and opportunities and ways to find the good in all of it. Did you have fun outside?
Yeah, I saw a friend there.
You saw a friend outside? Well, that's fantastic. Oh, Nakia? Oh, she got her little dress on. Go find your dress. Your princess dress?
I don't want to go outside again.
Okay, you can take a break. Is it hot out there? Okay, for my Sagittariuses, what's going on in the land of Lemuria? What's the energy? Oh, hold on, these are big cards. Bear with me. We got internal explorer and solar plexus chakra. You went within. I'm not going to read them all, but I will read the solar plexus one. And the sound of the universe. You went within, and you're understanding to hear the universe, to hear God, to hear your angels, all of that stuff. Trust your innocence. You're on the Fool. Okay, story time. You're manifesting your journey because you're trusting in the sound of the universe. and your innocence. You know that when things happen, it's not to punish you, it's to teach you how to overcome it. And yeah, even in the bad things, it's not, uh, things happen. Free will happens. When you get in an accident, doesn't mean you deserve an accident. Somebody made a wrong turn. Accident happened. Like, it's not, it's meant to teach you something, right? It's not always meant, like everyone says it's going to punish you. No, if you're taking it as a punishment, when you can find the silver lining, which happens when you trust in your innocence, right? You know that everything's meant to the highest, best good of all. And you always check within yourself first. How is this making me feel? What is this doing in my life? Is this done against me or for me, right? How do I want to treat this? And every time you decide to choose it as wonder and an adventure, which is the way it should be, which by default is expanding your solar plexus chakra, which for those that don't know much about the chakras, that's your confidence. That's your ability to show up, to excel, to meet new people, to get out and do all the things. It's your confidence. That's how you step out. That's your sun sign. I'm a Leo, so that's, you know, confidence is something, it's like a by default, I think, for Leos. That's just what I think it is. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I think it is kind of like a default thing. We just, or maybe it is an age thing at this point, I'm starting to think, because I think when you get to a certain age, you're like, I just don't care what people think. I'm just going to say what it is because it's what I know to be true for my life, right? And if it helps me, it's going to help somebody along the way, period. Okay, and also 4, that's your stable foundation, not your ego. There's a big difference. Confidence and ego, yes, ego is there to protect you, but when we let it lead the way all the time, it can get us into trouble. So again, that's where balance comes in, understanding the process and not getting stuck in the I know too much, so I don't care anymore, right? To be in the always learning really matters. Okay, so we have the solar plexus chakra is the radiant center of our being. It holds the vibrant spark that brings our passions to life. Enter this space to step away from playing small, unworthiness, the idea that you are taking up space, and insecurity-based competitiveness. Allow yourself to be attuned to the abundant life force that resides within this center, and be energized, motivated, fueled with inspiration, enthused and clear-minded, so you can bring forth more of yourself and what you wish to birth in the world. As you discover a deep and real sense of self-empowerment, you can more confidently lift others in celebration, harmonizing differences, and shifting hierarchical paradigms to collective co-creation. Remember that you are a powerful being who can connect with the potent life force energy as and when you need it. Be aware of what fuels your fire and consider circumstances where you had your power away. Imagine all the fragments of your energy that you have given away at some point and bring them all back to the center of your being, right? This is your power and where you're putting your energy. Okay, energy grows where your focus is, right? Energy flows where the focus grows. So if you're focusing on all the negative, it's just going to grow more of it. Because every day, I don't care what anyone says, no one's going to change my mind otherwise. We are magical beings, every single one of us, and we're constantly manifesting. And yes, because of traumas and all kinds of other things, that negative mindset, unfortunately, we can get stuck in that loop of victim and all those things and create more negativity. But by noticing it, paying attention, and checking ourselves in those moments where we know our hard work is paying off, we're manifesting miracles, not negativity, and that's pretty exciting. Good for you. Sagittarius, my friend, you're taking the steps, and you're taking that thought processes and what you've learned, and you're jumping out on the journey, and you're saying, we're doing this, and we're doing this the right way, and okay, that's the one. And if it went to the floor, it means pay attention. Unexpected shift. Divine guidance, transformation, love, serendipity, intuition, adaptability, and new opportunities. A sudden change is coming, encouraging you to follow your true passions. While it may disrupt your current path, it will lead you to where you belong, whether that's a loving relationship, your dream career, or a new location. Embrace the unexpected, trust your instincts, and welcome the opportunities that arise. 0505 Sagittarius. You're trusting that this life is an adventure. Every step of the way it's an adventure. You've been doing the work, you've been putting it in, and you know that all the work you've been doing is guaranteed to pay off. Because you're not manifesting anymore. You're not manifesting the betrayal and the being lack and the left out. You're not manifesting any more of that because you're not sitting in worry and fear. You've changed your mind and you decide to take all these endeavors with wonder, like a child. Curiosity. Wanting, wisdom seeking, right? We're not seeking all of the millions of dollars in the world. We're seeking knowledge. We're seeking understanding. We're seeking love and kindness and compassion. And you're trusting in it. And while you're doing it along the way, that shift is going to be unexpected. And all of that work you put in paid off and you didn't even realize it. Because when shit hit the fan and you weren't sure what you were going to do or where you were going to go or what was going to happen, you could have sat in that victim and that worry and that fear, but all of a sudden that wonder and that curiosity says, but what if this happens? What if it turns out good this time? What if something great comes about? You took that victim and you flipped it on its head, and that's an unexpected shift, and I don't even think you expected that to happen. I think it was probably an accident. And then all of a sudden you just noticed it one day. All that stuff you've been doing, this journey is getting a little easier, and I'm excited about it. I'm super excited about it. And you're taking the steps. And you're doing it like with full-on joy. Good for you. Okay, for my Sagittarius, what is the affirmation for this unexpected shift? 222. All right. I welcome healthy, loving relationships. It's important. Speak it. Because that means you're welcoming healthy, loving relationships for yourself, to yourself, with your spirit team. You got 3. I breathe calmly and easily. I am safe in this moment. Yeah, you're just understanding. It's the same. That was the same as Capricorn. You're understanding I can expand time when I'm inspired. You're understanding it's all about you and your mindset and your thought process. It's all about you trusting that it's all coming. You've done all the work. You're showing up every day and you're doing the work. It must come to pass. Okay? And it's going to come to pass far greater than you could have ever imagined when you allow it to do its thing. But this shift was unexpected. You went from that victim mindset to the no, I wonder what this is. And you're still shifting. I don't think that you're 1,000% there, but I think you're noticing it. And what's more fun about that is you've been putting in the work, but now you're starting to actually see. You're seeing that shift is saying, how did that happen? Well, because you showed up and you checked yourself and you put in the hard work. You said, hey, I'm not going to live in fear. I'm going to treat this endeavor like an adventure, like a child with wonder. And eventually, when hard times came to pass, instead of saying, why is the universe doing this? What did I do to deserve this? How the hell? So you're like, all right, what can I learn from this? What is my next step? Maybe I don't need to focus on this so much. I can focus on how do I move forward? What's the solution? Not what did the world do to me? What is the solution to fix the problem? Because when you're a solution seeker, you're never going to be stuck, right? And maybe that solution is check in with you. What is your filter? What is your problem? What are the traumas or triggers that make this victim mindset come to pass? And you only know that by when you're exploring internally. And in turn, that confidence, that big shift, that confidence, I trust me, I trust the universe, I trust what's happening. You now know you can expand time when you're inspired. Why? Because you did the work. You did the work. And this affirmation, right? No matter what, you're going to affirm your greatness, and you should affirm it in a million more ways than just this one. But this one is really, really good for showing up and staying present. I am here right now, and that is enough. You're not here to solve all the world's problems. You're not here to know the exact path and every single step that it's going to take. That's God's problem. That's the universe's problem. It's not yours. It's your job to figure out what's holding you back. It's your job to say, I'm here right now, and that's enough. How can I move forward? What can I do for the next step? And then when you get that next step, you're going to celebrate it and say, amazing, I got here, I did this, and that's enough. Where can I go from here? Right? You always got to take that moment to celebrate it so we don't get caught forgetting all of the work that we've done. And Sagittarius, that's what you're doing. That adventurous spirit, that's just the natural rhythm of what a Sagittarius is. You're taking that adventure and you're not letting the weight of the world and other people's observation, expectations, their own struggles, their own traumas to weigh you down or change your perspective on how you perceive things. You sat in the victim for a long time, which, by the way, we all go through that phase. Probably not even just one time. There's going to be multiple times that we have to process this, but you're like, I've sat in this for long enough, and now I want this to be fun, adventurous, and I know if I keep showing up like that, the world's going to show up for me. And good for you. I can't wait to see what happens in August, because I think you got something really big on the way. I don't know what it is, but it's something that's like you can feel that shift. It is unexpected, but you can feel it. You may not know how to name it just yet, but there's something coming, and there's something when it hits, when it really truly hits, you're going to be like, oh shit. So start keeping, and it's going to be a good thing. It's not going to be like, oh shit, that's bad. It's going to be good. You start seeing that number everywhere. Just get present. Focus on what's going on around you. What are you thinking? How's your body feeling? What's playing on the TV? Conversations, people around you. What are you doing physically, right? Get really, really present in that moment. Because there's always going to be a flash or an intuitive hit or something that is going to take you to your next little step, your next idea, how to get past, how to overcome something, how to move through it. Use it to your advantage. That's what it's there for. Your team, your star brothers, your spirit team, they're all right there guiding you. But they can only do half the work. You got to show up and listen. And to hear them, you have to know you. You have to know yourself and trust yourself wholeheartedly. Then the rest becomes easier. That's what I got for you guys. We did 3 today. I'll be back on tomorrow. We have 4 left to do. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a longer one tomorrow. It may have to get broke up into 2 days, but we'll see how it goes. But we did get 3 of them done today. And if you go to my YouTube, for my TikTokers, if you go to my YouTube, it's at Creativity Guides Me. The replays are always put up with the timestamps and all that stuff, so you can go back. Also, I clip the videos for each sign. Probably not till next week, it won't get done, but I always do, so you can go back there. And if you want to support me on my endeavor, well, I try to get a new car. I have a post on my YouTube for my GoFundMe. My neighbor put up for me, which is amazing. If you want to help me there, it's there. Otherwise, all the other links, you can go to my website. I have my teas and all that stuff. I'll hold it up. I don't know if you can see it, but creativelyguided.ca. If you're in the U.S., you can do creativelyguided.com. It takes you to the same place. That's what I've been building while I'm doing all the other things. So if you want to support me, even just going to my YouTube and following me there will help me. I'm trying to build it all up. So eventually, I can get these messages out to the people that really, really need them. So I love you guys. I appreciate you for showing up. I will see you tomorrow, and we will get this job done. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in. How do I turn? I'm still working on learning how to use this live thing, so you got to bear with me. Oh shit, I think I just clicked on something. Yep. Come on now.
Sun.
See, how do I get this? There we go. All right, guys, I love you. I hope you have the best day. Okay, now, did it go? Okay, I gotta go, guys. I'll be on tomorrow. We'll do 2 or 4. I'm not sure yet, but we'll figure it out. I love you guys. Have a good day. Oh, why do I not know how to end this one? Uh-oh. Oh, there it is.